great news coming. We've got a couple special guests. And if you can see in the background, I'll show some pictures here. We've got a couple of hoodlums running some laps. So Dusty and Josh are here running laps. And let's take a look at the track here. You can see them. I don't know what cars they're running. But yeah, welcome Tuesday. I'm glad you guys are here. I don't know what your weather's like, but it snowed all day here in Chile. And we've already had a foot of snow from last week. So it just kind of piled on, cleared because it was only about 31, 32 degrees, right at freezing. If there's anything wrong with the stream, I'm still testing some equipment. So guys, Chris Frater is in, Harry is in Clearwater. Hey, Greg. John here, DeFinger. Shady Dave, good evening. Jerry. So what's going on in your lives here on Tuesday? I look forward. We were talking about it's kind of a cool, chat going on. You guys have side conversations going on. Community that we've built together, and I'm pretty excited about that. And so when we come together on Tuesdays, I always look forward to the conversation. I look forward to the harassment I get from most of you guys. George says there's lots of buffering. Okay. Thanks, George. We'll see if that clears up. I'm not seeing any dropped frames. I've got green lights. And then there it is as soon as I said something. Okay. I may need to make some changes. Hold on, guys. Let's see if I can change this. I might disappear for a second. Hang out there, guys. Okay. Now we're back. Hey, Vince. Let me know if the buffering is fixed. Hey, Ty. It says I'm live. Hey, you. What's up, David? Hey, Josh, is the stream back? That's all right. Josh is practicing for tomorrow night. I'm not. I won't be going. I'm tuning, though, for next week. He's tuning for next week. Yeah, it's back. It's back. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Sorry about that. We are back. So we were doing some testing, and what I found out is I can't do what I wanted to do wirelessly. I'm going to have to hardwire into my internet access. So that's where we're at. These are why you test things, right? So exciting news tonight. We're going to bring Steve Sawtelle from Slot Car Corner on, and Matt McDonough from CG Slots. So guys, I'd like to welcome them to the chat, to the live stream. Guys, thanks for coming. Let me turn your audio in so everybody can hear you. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out.
Good to be here.
Yeah. So I teased.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah. So I was on a live stream last night in the chat with Araris Carrera, he had some people over racing, and I was talking in the chat, and I jokingly said, I've got mega news that we're going to announce on the live stream tonight. And that was sort of a teaser, but it is pretty big news. And so I'm going to turn it over to you guys, and you guys tell us what's up, what's happening in your world, and what can we expect?
Matt, how about if I just give a little bit of background and maybe you can jump in and
yeah, that's cool. That's fine. I'm just reading comments. That's all.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, first of all, Matt is up in the northeast corner of Massachusetts. Slackhart Corner is in the southernmost part of New Hampshire and Nashua. So we're about 45 minutes away as the crow flies, type thing. We've known each other for several years. We met, through slot cars. Matt has raced on Team Slackhart Corner in the Michigan 24 several times. Most recently, he's raced with the WRE with the Spirit of America team. But when we first got together, racing slot cars and stuff, Matt was winding up his CG slot cars business and doing all sorts of neat things with 3D printing. A lot of those things complemented slot car corner products. So, for example, Matt makes a whole range of 3D printed wheel inserts. Obviously, we sell a bunch of insert wheels. So there's a lot of synergy there, and there's a lot of other examples of that. And one of the things that we've been talking about for a long time, it seems like forever, is starting to make our own products in-house, and not just 3D printed products, but machined products. And it's kind of a running joke with us. We'd get together every spring, and we'd go up to this big show in Springfield, Massachusetts, where all the vendors come in with their CNC equipment, and some of it millions and millions of dollars. And we kind of go through the exhibits, and we leave a lot of drool on the floor as we're walking through. And invariably we'd end up talking and seeing the same vendors year after year. And it got to the point where these guys, we'd show up, and they don't remember our names. They don't remember Steve and Matt, but they remember that we're slot car guys. Hey, you guys are the slot car guys. Right. So every year we'd go up and, hey, you guys ready to buy a lathe, buy this, buy that. And we're like, we're still kind of kicking the tires, right?
Right.
So last summer things took a turn, and we were out looking at auctions like we have been for quite some time for some equipment, and we really couldn't find much that interested us, or that we didn't have some reservations about, because if you go out looking at these auctions, there's quite a bit of stuff out there, and it generally falls into one of two broad categories. It's either from 2006, and it's been running 24/7 by 365, and it's a big gamble if you go ahead and you buy it. You bring it in, you don't know how much money you're going to have to throw at it to bring it back into spec, or you buy something more recent, and obviously you pay a lot more for something that's newer. So in the end, we ended up taking a little different tact. We just decided to buy a new lathe, and not have to deal with problems with it being out of spec and having to pay a lot of money for something that we didn't know what condition it was in. So that adventure began last summer, and we took delivery of the lathe October, November timeframe, something like that. It's in the background there. It's behind Matt. You can see it, and this has been there's been a lot of work behind the scenes. Matt has been working tirelessly, to get this up and running. The lathe itself runs fine. It's Matt and Steve that don't run so fine on the lathe, right? So we're the ones that are coming up the learning curve. So
sure.
So in the meantime, when we're coming through this, we decided to start a new company. Think of it as a partnership with CG Slot Cars and Slot Car Corner. The new company is called BMS Slot Works. And Marty, I don't know if the email that I got came through, but so basically it's this is like the world announcement, if you will, of BMS Slot Works. We're coming topside. And we're about a week away from starting to ship our first products. So I'm going to turn it over to Matt, and Matt can fill in some of the holes there, and he can tell you a little bit about the first product that we've got in the pipeline, and maybe tease a few products that we have coming down the road.
Yeah. So I think everybody's familiar with the old CB design insert wheels. That was kind of the first priority, was to get something that was, I don't know, sort of an evolution of that wheel, I guess. So we looked at it, tried to lighten it up a little bit. I think Marty has a CAD picture of it that we developed, but this is the wheel, insert wheel now. The hub's slightly different. It's got a little lightening in it. It's made for inserts. Same sizes. Yeah, maybe I'll get back in there. I like to think that the axle tolerance is a little tighter, but I guess we'll see what public opinion is. But feedback so far has been pretty good. It's slightly different with a 440 set screw. Actually, two 440 set screws. We gave people the option if they strip one out, if they want to run two. Steve will tell you that I like symmetry, which means balance to me. But you can put two set screws in it if you're sort of like that. And then, the plan is to do some variations of other wheels. There's a lot of wheels on the market that, I don't know, they're kind of design-wise, they're a little out there for me. So I'd like to see some better, lightweight racing wheel, things like that. The nice part about this is if we have an idea, if we want to try something, if we have people that want to test wheels for us, I can come out, knock off 20 wheels, 50 wheels, and we can test the theory, if you will, with people, which is going to be really fun. We've already done that with some of the insert wheels. I think a couple people are online that actually tested those. We took that feedback and applied it. The original wheel had 3 set screws. It was overkill. It was kind of crazy. But, it was like, what do people want to see in this thing? It's how do you evolve a brick, if you will, right? It's been around for a long time. How are you going to make it better? So we tried a few different things with it. There's some other designs, like a 5-spoke wheel. Let's see if I can get that in there.
Oh, that looks great.
5-spoke wheel. This is it's a rough one. You can kind of see some of the detail on it, but that's going to be a lightweight wheel. We'll take some more metal out of that, make it really light, but it'll be thick enough that it's durable for people, which would be good. There's classic steel wheel. This one I'm gonna change this one maybe a little bit. Steve and I talked about modifying it and maybe 3D printing some hubcaps or just a grease cap kind of thing for the wheel. Nice. And we have a couple wheels that we'll probably do. I can do a mix of 3D detail and nice design in the metal, things like that.
So I just want to interject here something. Matt just touched on something very briefly. He mentioned CV design. So to be clear, we're not throwing CV design under the bus, right? We're not
right.
Unfortunately, CV design is no longer making wheels, right? So our machine shop that we used to work with to do the CV design wheels, for 15 years, we had a great partnership, great people to work with and stuff. But at the end of the day, some people changed jobs, went to different shops. You know, the new shop wasn't really interested in doing this, or the price point was just not, something that would work out, that would work for us financially, right?
Right.
So that was, a rather major driver this past summer to kind of push us over the edge and finally make the commitment to do this, to bring this in-house, to make the investment in the lathe, the Swiss lathe, all the training and stuff like that that's entailed. So we could have just taken the designs, and we probably could have outsourced them, overseas, type thing. But we didn't want to do that. We wanted to have more control over the entire design and production process end to end. And that's one thing, that's always that can be frustrating when you're working with an overseas supplier, or just suppliers in general, right? We're relatively small potatoes. If we want to do a run of 1,000 wheels or something like that, they'll do it. They'll do it with good quality. That's not an issue, but it might take 6 months because you're absolutely going to be the low man on the totem pole. And to Matt's point, the other point that Matt made is we don't have to source, a minimum order quantity of 5,000 wheels or 10,000 wheels, to make this happen. We can, if we have an idea, like the wheel that Matt, kind of teased there with the 5 spokes. Just it's a bit rough at this point, but we can turn that around a heck of a lot quicker than what we could if we were to have to go outsource it, send drawings, request samples, check the samples, possibly go through an iteration or two, that sort of thing. It can take months, literally, for a new product to see the light of day. So this will mean shorter cycles, shorter, production cycles, life cycles, and we have much more control over the whole process. Well, sort of. I don't have much control over Matt, but
yeah, it's just a crazy laboratory for me.
Yeah, that's a crazy.
So quick, I just want to say this is a Swiss lathe. So the difference between that is if you're not familiar with the difference between conventional lathe and a Swiss lathe, the Swiss lathe actually moves the material in and out, where regular lathe, you're just chucking it and it sits still in place, and you're running the tool back and forth over it. Swiss lathe, the material kind of comes to the tool, and it keeps the cutting area very close to a bushing, the bushing that the material spins in. So you get a lot of support and accuracy, roundness, everything is just, it's out 6 or 7 places. When I was dialing in wheels, we were talking about 3 and 4 places, 0.02 of a millimeter kind of off, and like, should I fix this or, just let it go? And Steve was like, it's okay, but then I would fix it anyway because you might as well do
That's
it.
true.
We're going to make 1 million wheels. So that's the machine itself. It just, you put bars in it, and it's one of these things where once you get a wheel, in theory, you can just crank off a couple hundred of them, by itself. So we're pretty much to that point right now. I just cranked off 200, but I learned some more things, I guess, which every day here I'm learning new things. But now we're getting pretty close where we can run 200 with no problems. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So again, at this point, the initial batch of wheels will be the insert wheels. The 15 millimeter insert wheels will be the first products that we release, and the plan is for Matt to deliver those wheels to us by the end of the week. And then at Slackout Corner, we have the packaging and equipment. We'll take those wheels, we'll package them up, with BMS Slacker header cards and stuff, the brand labels, and they'll be on the website, the Slackout Corner website, sometime next week. So we're very, very close.
That's fantastic. So at this point, you guys have been just working through previous inventory of wheels. and hoping
Yeah,
that
we're
they
actually,
make it.
yeah, that's exactly right, Marty. So in the case of, for those of you, the most popular insert wheel that we offer is a 15 by 8 insert wheel.
Right.
That's no surprise.
Yeah.
We've
All
been
the
out of
scratch
stock.
building.
Yeah, we've been out of stock. Yeah, all the 3A, 3D guys, right? We've been out of stock here on the 15 by 8 insert wheels for at least a month, maybe a little longer than that, right? So obviously there's some urgency here.
Sure.
And
I've been getting a call every week. One of the 15
yeah,
it's going to
yeah,
be
we're
ready.
the,
So this
right.
is the
I've
week.
got Matt on speed dial, and it's like, where the hell are my wheels, right? Yeah, so that's exactly right, Marty. We'll be winding down our inventory of CB design wheels, if you will, and we'll be ramping up our inventory and our product line of BMS Slotworks wheels. Right? So
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, I actually have a slot car corner cart full of parts for my truck build that I'll probably order tomorrow. And so, yeah, maybe I should just wait so I can get the new wheels when they come out. So you
Yeah, they'll
mentioned,
be there soon.
yeah. So you mentioned some other products possibly down the road. I mean, I think the Swift lathes gives you an opportunity to do a lot of different things.
Yeah, we can make anything up to an inch in diameter, basically. So what do they call those? Those little collars. We can actually make gears on it, which is my dream. Like maybe in a year to crank out some all aluminum gears. Yeah, anything round really.
Very cool.
24 scale stuff. Scales shouldn't matter too much. We can do the 24 scale wheels, 32nd scale wheels, things like that.
As long as it's not bigger than 1 inch round.
Yeah. We'll take 1 inch bar and then it's got to be at least a little bit under
Gotcha.
under an inch. Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep. I did see a question, something about how long does it take to make a wheel.
Yeah, there it is.
There's a front spindle and a back spindle, and there's tools that modify the part on each spindle. So each spindle is about 1.5 minutes, really. The rear is a little less because it just has to drill 6 holes. But the front does, a lot of the digging, a lot of the shaping. So that's about 1.5 minutes. And it moves really, really fast. When we get to that point, I'll post a picture from inside the machine, of the thing humming around. It actually scares you the first couple of weeks because you just think it's gonna come out the side. It goes pretty fast.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Another question was, are you going to do colored versions like anodizing?
So Steve and I had talked about that. I think black is on the table. I think anybody that's been around the wheels a long time, in the hobby a long time, to see the wheels, like for instance, red or gold, it can be difficult to duplicate the same exact color, a year later.
Right.
So the problem you have is people, they buy a set of rear wheels and they want to buy a set of front wheels a year later in gold or red, and it's very difficult. So
yeah.
Unless we see, unless we can find a place that's very good at that, it's not. I always say there's things I will never want to do and learn, and I'm sure at one point I said I'll never make wheels, but here I am. So maybe maybe in a year we're doing different colors, but for now I think we're focusing on black. And then I was saying to Steve the other day, we could do them black and then just turn an edge on it, so it would give it kind of a two-tone sort of look, which might be kind of cool. But
yeah,
those are things down the road. Lots of ideas. For now, we're just trying to get the inserts out.
So Steve, how excited are you about this? mean, I would say that being able to see the finished product has got you pretty excited. Oh, do we lose your mic? Hang on. Yeah, I'm not hearing you. You're not muted.
Oh, geez. Let me go turn that off.
Warren asked where will they be available on Slot Car Corner. Warren, he said that they would be up sometime late next week. The tornado of oil when making wheels.
Everything in my shop is covered in oil at this point. The 3D printers are covered in oil. Cars are covered in oil.
No doubt.
There's oil in it. This is the only piece of clothing I have that doesn't have oil on it right now. I'm trying to save it, keep it clean till Sunday.
Yeah, till Sunday.
Yes. Yeah, same dimensions, rib width. The outer part of the wheel is the same. Insert size is the same. The hub's a little different. And then we've got, a few holes in the back to lighten it. And then the markings, like on a CB wheel, the markings used to be on the front rim of the wheel. There's a little indent on the back of the wheel on one of the holes now. So the hole is not, when you look at the hole, it won't quite be round. It'll have a little notch out of it. So you can find where the set screw is inside. And then, down the line, we're probably going to do more conventional hub wheel as well. Maybe not like a full hub, but, partial hub kind of thing. When you start playing around with hubs and hub lengths, I don't want to get too nerdy, but the hub length affects how the wheel sits on the axle, if you get any wobble in it, things like that, depending on the tolerance. So the hub length's got to kind of stay the same length. And then if you do anything inside the wheel, it may push the hub, outside the wheel. So there's a lot of designs. We've got hypercar design already. There's a mag wheel, couple of hot rod wheels we've done. And then that steel wheel that I showed, it might change a little though to accommodate the hubcap. Did you get Steve back yet?
Yeah, I don't know, Steve. Try your mic. Yeah. For some reason, you've lost your mic.
He's putting it on. I knew he was going to put it on me all night.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Steve. What happened? You were there, and then the next question came, and you were gone.
Maybe get like a marker or something and write the answer.
You might reconnect your camera, like unplug your camera and come back in, and see if the mic wakes up.
I see John weighed in on the anodizing, and that's part of it.
Yeah.
A lot of these, you go in and ask for pink. They don't necessarily have it ready to go, and they have to make it, and then it might be different than what you did before. So colors are nice. They're just risky to me right now, other than black. So might be 3mm axle wheels down the line. Again, it was just let's get sort of the basics out right now, and then follow it up with some of these other wheels, and then look at different axles. I know we're looking at 124 scale wheels, things like that as well. So,
have you got me?
Yep, we got you, Steve. So, Steve, let's go back to your question.
You're going to have to refresh my memory. What was the question?
So I just asked you, like, how excited are you about this? I know you're excited about new products, but you've been kind of holding this in for a while, so it's probably good to get it out.
Right. So I would say on a scale from 1 to 10, probably a 12.
Nice.
So last week, Matt, he was experimenting with another wheel design, and it looks pretty darn good, right? And then, like Matt said, I made 5. Like having your first child or something like that, right? But it still is pretty damn neat. Thing from a concept, into a CAD drawing, and then that CAD drawing into the, into the lathe, if you will, into the cam, and then actually, see the it comes out in a little basket after it ejects it, and you pick it up and you look at it and you measure it all up and stuff. I mean, it's the best feeling in the world. It's great.
Pretty wild. I mean,
it is pretty wild.
10 years ago, I used to be able to design stuff and 3D print it out, and it's just kind of weird to see it, a couple hours later in reality type of thing. And this is sort of the same way. It's a lot harder. The G code and stuff is interesting, but it's the same sort of feeling. It's like, wow, I thought about that 4 hours ago, and here it is.
Yeah, I had that first experience with 3D printing, a month ago or so, where I was making a 2-finger trigger for Steve Holzman, and I was like,
I saw the story.
I just created that part. That's awesome. So I can imagine what you're feeling about popping out wheels that the hobby desperately needs. I mean, there's a lot of scratch building that happens, and those 15x8s are super popular, and now you're going to be able to provide that.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool too. And then we already have an air ride wheel. Might fool around with that a little bit more. That seems to be popular nowadays with people, is the air ride. So once we get this first run of insert lines out, it's probably going to be followed up by an air ride, because it's easy just to go back in and cut the rib down a little bit. And then we'll just keep rolling.
You're talking about the how long does it take to produce a wheel? Matt mentioned probably 1.5 minutes on the front and 1.5 minutes on the back. That's something over time. We're erring on the side of being very, very conservative with the spindle speeds and the tool speeds, right? So we know some of these tools we can run faster, but to Matt's point, it's kind of mind over matter. And when you see this thing, when you're standing there watching it, make a wheel, things are happening very, very quickly inside that lathe, and you swear it's gonna. I mean, you can crash it. I mean, obviously you can break tools and you can break the lathe and stuff. But again, we're approaching this very, very conservatively, and just we don't want to push our luck. We don't want to. If you're familiar with Spaceballs, we're not ready to go to plaid.
That's right.
So, but someday we will be.
We're hanging at ludicrous right now.
Yeah, we're at ludicrous speed, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how fast do you really need to make them? Like
Right, that's it.
If you can pop out 200 wheels, short period of time.
Right.
Yeah.
In the long run, we're just wearing tools, and I've already broken a few, so I'm trying not to break more.
Yeah. Yeah, you mess up something in that code, and it takes off too much at once.
It's unforgiving. It's very unforgiving.
No doubt.
Yeah. So if anybody has any ideas, I mean, practically speaking, we can't turn out 100 new products in a week or anything like that. But I mean, if there's anything that you've got on your list where, a mainstream slot car manufacturer is not going to do a run of 100 wheels or 100 of anything, right? So there are some opportunities here that this opens up some niche products, if you will.
Sure.
And we've got a list, but I'm sure there are probably other products that we don't, that we haven't thought of or considered, type thing. So, if Two Lines viewers, have ideas and stuff like that, don't be afraid to to share them with us, we'll certainly take them under consideration. But keep in mind, even the ones, you know, where we ultimately decide to pursue, if we don't have something in 2 weeks, if we don't have a product announcement in 2 weeks, it doesn't mean that we're ignoring you, right?
Sure.
It's just the practical realities of right now. There's a lot of things in the pipeline that we have to get. We have to get these insert wheels back in stock, you know, type thing. And then there's some other wheel styles that are out of stock that we have to address those. And some of these new designs, we want to work those in. So we'll be sure to let everybody know, to keep everybody up to date on what we're up to and what we're focused on, you know, kind of coming attractions, if you will.
Sure.
No, if you want to show, so this is one of the wheels. I'm trying not to show too much of it. But, you know, it looks like, well, maybe, let's see, it was the spooked wheel I did earlier. So I don't know if you can see some of the detail in that. Looks like
Yeah, that's good.
Well, I hit the other one, but it looks like a two-piece wheel, you know, with some touches over here. 32 tool, 0.5 millimeter tool touches at 32 times to make it look like, you know, a bolt pattern kind of thing, like a two-piece wheel that bolts together.
That's great detail.
I mean, there's that level of detail. I was telling Steve it might be a good idea to put in a little hole for like where the valve stem, you know, would be, kind of thing. So that tells you, lines up with one of the screw holes kind of thing. So
yeah, that's a great idea.
These little tools, you know, they go down to tenths of millimeters. So I could get real crazy, but if you measure it in energy, it's a lot of energy to make that wheel. So
sure,
you know, it would impact the price point type of thing, because it's just in the machine doing one wheel for 20 minutes kind of thing.
But the fact that you can do that kind of detail, if you had a run of wheels, like a small batch, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I think I saw somebody ask for mini light wheels.
Yeah.
The issue there is just the surface machining that needs to take place. I don't have a package yet that I can tie into the CAD model to do my tool paths. That's probably coming in a couple weeks. So once I do that, I'll have a better idea of making mini lights. I mean, we talked about making torque thrusts right out of the gate. Something I think everybody would want. So
yeah, popular wheel.
Yeah, things like that. The rest of them, you know, the like a DTM wheel or you know, a 5-spoke Lola wheel. That stuff's going to be easy. Even the little Porsche wheels would be easy. So
yeah, the Fuchs.
Yeah, all that stuff. So most of the designs, which, you know, while you're waiting, you could just buy a CG slot car insert. But
this is true.
I love that's a shameless plug.
That's all right.
Yeah,
it's the truth though.
Yeah, and you can get those at Slot Car Corner. So there.
Yep.
Special thanks to the sponsor of the product of this channel.
There you go. We're both, by the way. Neither one of us has a conscience.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So, yeah, we're completely off the rails.
Yeah, John says missing his center liners from the 80s center lines.
Yeah, wheels, and there's a few. I actually have a directory going somewhere of all the wheel manufacturers and hot rod wheels. The wheel that was on the Cobra, you know, with the spinner on it. Actually, I talked to John. I think I asked him about that recently because I posted a picture of a Cobra Daytona, maybe. I don't remember, but yeah, like a 3D printed spinner on a wheel like that, I think it would look really cool.
Yeah, I agree. Ray Lego says, can you make a balanced wheel? Which is what you're trying to do with being symmetrical, right?
Yeah, I had, so the first test wheel, the insert wheels, I used to talk to Steve about, we need a balanced wheel. And, I was like, to balance it right, you really have to have 3 set screws. So we put 3 set screws in the hub and sent them out to everybody, and everybody kind of went, those are a lot of screw holes. So,
It's
so we're
overkill.
back to 2. Yeah. And 2 actually is not the best design because if you put both screws in, depending on the tolerance, the wheel could actually rock one way or the other when you tighten it down. So,
Yeah.
but that's where we're at. The wheel is, I have about 18 different axles here. And that's another point is, like you can buy a pack of 3 packs of slotted axles, and one's going to have a big left, if you will, left end. It's going to be skinny in the middle. They're all different sizes. There's no good tolerance to the axle diameter as it travels along. So we have to make concessions for, what's going to be the biggest other brand axle that people are going to put in this thing. And, you kind of look at Slotting Plus, a very popular axle. It doesn't seem to run the same size as Slotted, of course. They're all different.
Right.
But, we've come very close to, if you've ever put an NSR wheel on a slotted axle, it's got a certain drag on it because it's almost a tight fit. And that's kind of the fit that we went for. It's very, very close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to Matt's point, he literally has 18 different brands of axles. He probably has more than that. So you have to make a decision. If there are 5 or 6 axles and you want your wheel to fit on everybody's axle, the only way that that's possible is you're going to have to size your bore for the wheel to the largest axle, the largest diameter axle.
Right.
Which means, by definition, the other 5 axles that are smaller, right, it's going to be a looser fit. So when you put the wheel on and you tighten the set screw, that wheel on those axles is going to cock just slightly, right, on the looser axle. So, Matt, I'm going to go ahead and we might as well just drop another.
I was going to say, you might as well.
We might as well drop another product. So, we wanted control. Obviously, we don't have control over Slotted or Slotting Plus or NSR, their axle production. But we do have control over our own axles, which are in the works. And surprise, they've been sized, to match our BMS Flatworks wheels, perfectly the way
Nice.
we want them. Now you should still be able to work with a slotted axle and like with a slotting plus axle, but we are going to offer axles that have a very, very tight tolerance along the entire length of the axle, not just one end or the other end or in the middle. So just something else that as we were working on this project, we said, look, it probably makes sense if we go out there and source an axle, to our specs, our criteria, and not have to depend on somebody else who may not have the same focus that we do on these tolerances.
Yeah. Right. And if the axle's dimensionally consistent across the axle in all the lengths, and that's what's really nice. It's more like if people have ever played around with gauge pins, the consistency along the entire length is what we were after, and that's kind of what these things are, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So will there be a particular bearing that people have to, or bushing that people have to use with those, or there be close enough that
no,
there's other products out there?
The short answer is no. Now some bushings, some bushings have tighter bores than other bushings do.
Sure.
So when you insert an axle, regardless of whose it is, you're going to have varying degrees of play or slop depending on the brand of the bushing. So again, I think it's likely at some point down the road, seeing how the bushings that we're talking about are only about 1/4 of an inch in diameter at the outer flange or on the flanges. I think you're probably going to see BMS Slotworks, some bushings, and we've already talked about some features
Yeah, nice.
in these bushings that might be kind of fun.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
If it's round and it's metal, it's probably gonna come out of here someday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean to spoil that, but if that's something you're holding on to,
that's good. It's all good.
But it was just the next question. And this
We
is
might have
exciting
one or
stuff.
two products we haven't told you about, so
Good. Yeah.
save
That means-
those.
Yeah, it means we'll have to have you back on to
Right.
talk about it down the road.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
It's pretty exciting that
Yep.
you make this announcement tonight, and potentially in less than 15 days, people might have them in their hands.
Yes, that's the plan.
That's exciting.
That's the plan.
Yeah, we've had a few people ask in the comments where these going to be available, and you mentioned earlier it'll be from Slot Car Corner, the website.
Right, they'll be from Slot Car Corner, and then once. So what we're planning to do here, just so everybody knows, Matt touched on. We had probably 8 or 10 testers with the insert wheels, many who are on the stream, and we thank you very much for your feedback. We appreciate it. But even with that, the initial runs, instead of running 5,000 pieces, let's say of a 15/8 wheel, which we could do, just turn off the lights and go away for a week, come back, and here's your pile of wheels. We're probably going to just do a small run, maybe 250, 300 pieces of that size. Get them out there, right? And if there's anything that we missed through the testing process and stuff like that, we'd rather find out with a relatively small batch of wheels.
Sure.
That maybe we have to make a change, type thing, rather than run, a ton of aluminum through the machine only to find out that, something wasn't quite right. So initially we're going to, again, proceed cautiously and, once water, and then, based on that feedback, then we'll ramp up production. But, in about a week, you're going to see them on the Slot Car Corner website. Once we've gone through that initial testing period, introduction period, if you will, then we'll make these available to other retailers where they can purchase them, at wholesale from us, and offer them to their customers as well.
Very nice.
Worldwide.
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 That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought about. I was at a proxy the other day. I don't know which proxy it was, and one of the cars had an independent front axle. It got me thinking about independent fronts, but how to press in a bearing stuff. I don't know. Too much time.
Yeah, we don't disagree on the standard axle size. There's a lot of things in this hobby that would just make it so much easier for everybody involved, both racers and like us manufacturers and stuff. If they just little things that you take for granted, how hard can it be to produce a quote unquote 3/32 axle? Well, if you take 5 different brands of quote unquote 3/32 axles and you're really, you examine them really, really closely, you're going to find differences in their so-called 3/32 axles. So,
Right.
And it's not just axles, right? I mean, wheels, which obviously we're very close to, are another good example. We swear that there's somebody at Carrera that their job is to make sure that Carrera never produces 2 models with the same wheel dimensions, right? They would probably get fired if they did that, right?
Yeah.
We don't quite understand that, but from a aftermarket perspective, whether it be tires, wheels, whatever, it just makes it more difficult for everybody, right? It's confusing. I'm not picking on Carrera.
No.
It's other brands as well. I mean, it's just prevalent across the 1/32 space, and a lot of these 1/24th racers that come, over to 1/32nd. They call us up, and one of the things that they have a headache trying to figure out the tires, for the 1/32nd cars. We used to race our 1/24th cars, and we had a handful of different wheels and sizes and stuff, and it was all very straightforward. Now you come over here, and you've got to have a database, and it's got 700 entries in it, and you got to find your car, and Carrera's got some late 60s Mustangs with 3 different wheels on the same car with 3 different rib heights. That's just insanity,
Yeah.
But that's where we are. That's the state of the hobby. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I see that 440 question. It's a good question. Basically, the threads are a lot beefier. I've stripped many a 2mm wheel, so I didn't want to go 2.5 like an NSR wheel. Although Steve found me trying to put 2.5mm set screw into a 440 thread one day, but we weren't going to talk about that.
Yes, we are.
Basically, the 440 allows you to really crank the wheel down on the axle, really secure it. So,
yeah. Now, don't say that, please. Yeah, just remind everybody, you're not tightening the wheel nuts on your family car.
Right. Not that bad.
It just need to be snug.
Yeah.
Right.
But for those people, it'll go a little further than it did with a 2mm screw.
That's true.
And it's not one feedback we got was, why not a fine thread? I think it's 448. Basically, the smaller the thread, the less you can crank on it. So 440 thread is really beefy size, and you can put a lot of pressure onto it.
Yeah.
And hopefully it doesn't wiggle loose like some of the 2mm stuff does.
Right.
Yeah. It's close. For those of you familiar with the NSR wheels, NSR uses a 2.5mm M2.5 set screw. The 440 is very, very close, to that. And
same wrench.
Same wrench. And
that's what I was going to ask. What size wrench should it be?
Yeah.
Same wrench. 05.
05.
050, or it'd be a 1.3mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's really available. Actually, it's something you could potentially find in a U.S. hardware store. You will find hardware stores that have the 050 hex wrenches. It's very difficult to find a 0.9mm hex, for an M2 set screw.
Yeah. And it's near impossible to find M2 set screws other than going to Slot Car Corner or other retailers that sell slot car parts.
Yeah, so we can't let that earlier comment there on the M2.5 set screw path. All right. I won't tell the story. I'll save it.
It's all right. Yeah, save that for.
I'm going to save that.
Save that for Michigan or something. Yeah,
I'll save it for another day.
The live stream at Michigan, maybe we can tell that story.
Yeah.
But I saw like IndyCar wheel, the mag wheels of the 70s, things like that. Yeah, I want to make all that stuff. And there's some kits. People followed CG for a while. They know I used to make the cars and stuff and put inserts in. I might get back to that once I get some more time and try to get some kits at least out with wheels, things like that. More of a complete kit.
Yeah.
For those of you who are planning to participate in the HRW showdown, the truck proxy there, we'll have your 15x8 insert wheels here very shortly. So thank you for your patience.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's one of those things. Part availability, we've run into that problem probably since the pandemic, right? That sometimes it's been tough to get parts. And so the fact that these are being made right here in the U.S., availability is going to be easy for us, for you as a retailer. That's exciting.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And again, I mean, the lathe, like virtually every lathe, it's made overseas. But as far as the design and the wheels and stuff, they are going to be manufactured in the United States, in Massachusetts. So
Yeah.
we're kind of excited about that. The CB design wheels came from Canada, and again, we could have gone to China or Taiwan, someplace overseas, and sourced them, but that we didn't want to do that. It gets back to kind of the control discussion.
Yeah.
And there's just something to be said, I think, for doing some of this manufacturing ourselves. So that's part of the excitement too.
Yeah, for sure. There's always
Single
jokesters
wheels.
in the chat. Will the single wheels be available to go with the mono braid?
Oh man, you talk about a new product. I mean, I'm on it. I am on it. So yeah, I think I can see some. I can see some opportunities there for some, 2 lines / BMS Slotworks,
Collaboration.
partnerships. Yeah.
Matt, Steve well enough to know he doesn't miss an opportunity to make fun
Yeah.
when he can.
I'm a little disappointed you never showed your hard hat.
Well, I was going to open up by I'm prepared for the new news.
Yeah.
It's sitting right here, and I got distracted with our trouble beforehand, so I didn't grab it. I feel bad. But
That's quite
I
all
should
right.
probably tell everybody about that. Let me grab it. So Steve, this box shows up from Amazon a couple weeks ago, and the story it goes that no, it's a hard hat.
Oh, that's what that hard hat's called in the construction industry.
Yes, it's got built-in sunglasses. I mean, come on, this is the coolest thing. I was telling Steve I was doing research, and we were talking back and forth in preparation for the the AMSCO race, and I fell asleep with my iPad holding it up in bed, and I bounced off my forehead, and I spent that following Tuesday night with a bruise on my forehead, but nobody noticed it, and I was explaining that to Steve, and 2 days later, he and my friend Bob sent me this hard hat, and so, yeah. The Invisibraid and then the hard hat. Crazy stuff.
Yeah. It's
But
about doing a
Steve knows
service
I
to the
appreciate
2 line community.
I appreciate the jokes.
We want to make sure that you're okay.
Yeah. So every night before I go to bed, when I'm looking at my iPad researching, I'm safe. What kills me is the built-in goggles, man. That is awesome.
Yeah, Steve's got a thing for doing that because I know I think I broke my wrist a few years ago, and like a week later, I was getting different things about a couple of T-shirts with like, I don't know, something like it's not the fall that gets you, it's landing, or I don't know. All these T-shirts that had weird sayings, and I'm walking around with my wrist all wrapped up.
Too funny. Well, guys, did we miss anything?
No, I think we covered everything.
I don't know. Get all the questions. The three-wheel Morgan, yeah.
Yeah, when the jokes start rolling in, man. Yeah. Where's the harness and the leash? I have a hammer to test that. Oh, man. This is great stuff. Are chips back on TV? Da, 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 da. Da, da, da,
That's
da, 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 da. Sorry. I grew up watching that show. Poncherello. Everybody loved that show. It doesn't age well now if you see it on like Me TV. The reruns. I like the shirt, Matt. Go Pats.
Yep.
I was
This is the weekend.
I was telling Matt, I'm an Ohio State Buckeyes fan. Everybody knows that. And the Patriots coach was one of my favorite players. Yeah. Matt Finkus and Mike Vrabel
Yeah.
were two defensive players for Ohio State. And what's cool is I've met Matt Finkus multiple times, and it's pretty cool. But I've not met Vrabel, so good luck on Sunday, Matt.
Yeah, it would be good. I mean, Patriots sort of get a you either love them or hate them reaction. So
Yeah, every team that wins a lot.
Sorry for those that are offended, but it's been a couple of dry years and everybody's excited now. So
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. When they made the coaching change, I wasn't shocked by that. I figured he would go home, and that was a good pickup. He did a great job with his team.
I mean, people talk about the schedule. You know, there's a lot, but nobody in New England really saw them, on this run. So
Yeah,
that's kind of what makes it a lot of fun.
yeah, for sure. So George has a question. What's your score prediction?
32-0. No, I don't know.
I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Patriots by at least a touchdown. Maybe like 21. Let's call it 16, right? Then I'm under that. But yeah, we'll see.
Jason says Cadillac F1 reveal during the Super Bowl.
I'm aware of that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It should be an interesting year for them. I could go on and on about F1. I like to talk about it, but it should be a lot of fun. Let's say that.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting year with the car change and the new manufacturer. It's a lot going on.
And the wings are pretty trick. I don't know if you've seen the video of the wings open, but yeah, it's pretty trick stuff.
Yeah, it's wild technology.
There's going to be a lot of technical failures in the first few races, I think, but we'll see.
No doubt.
Have you still got me on your mic, Marty?
Yep, you're still there.
Okay. Yeah. So some of you may be aware of this, some of you not, but Matt is a former Formula 2000 champion.
That's right.
So Matt used to race Formula 2000, and he still gets out there occasionally.
I've been known to dabble.
He's been known to dabble. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, we talked a little bit about that when you were on with the Spirit of America team.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, a little background info and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a cool thing to learn about you. And now you're manufacturing wheels and playing with CNC, or not CNC, lathe. And
yeah, it's a CNC lathe, Swiss lathe, but yeah, it's essentially what it is. I graduated up from my Shoreline CNC lathe. So
nice. What are you designing in? What program?
I have been an NX user for a really long time. Before, back into the 80s, did CAD support in my life and all that stuff. So comfortable with it, know it really well, and have access to a license. So
so that's nice that you didn't have to learn something else. You were able to kind of slide into that.
Right. I can, I used to dabble in all of it. CATIA and SolidWorks and AutoCAD back before, their big journey into heavy duty 3D modeling, things like that.
Yeah.
Red Key for the old school guys. Yeah, a lot of old stuff. I've been around it a long time, so that's easy.
That's cool. I'm looking for any more questions.
Yeah.
Did I say Matt at Watkins Lynn?
Yeah, you would have. I've got a couple trophies here somewhere from there. So
Nice.
all the F2000 stuff. When was that? I don't know. Call it all the Pro F2000 10 years ago, maybe from, I don't know. I don't even remember the years anymore. 2001 to 2012, maybe I did. So the long story is I ended up being a test driver for Elan at some point, and then somebody called me about developing another car, and I did that for a few years. So traveled around. Yeah, I've been to Watkins Glen. I've been to Road America. Road America is where I broke my wrist, but I did it on a skateboard, not on the track. So yeah, I've been to Sebring. Sebring's amazing during the 12 hours. We used to do support races there. I've got a lot of fun stories. Another interview some other day.
Yeah, we'll have to come back to that.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for sharing with everybody your news. This is really exciting stuff. When Steve asked me if you guys could come on and talk about it, I was super excited because I didn't know exactly what you were doing, but Steve had dropped a few hints, and it was fun to talk about that in the chat tonight, and you get to share your story and exciting news. So we look forward to those showing up on the website next week.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, Marty. And
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thanks to everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I'll let you get some of your evening back. I guess we got a few minutes left. So, but yeah, it's been great. These guys are tearing up the track back behind me. I don't know. Let's take a look. I have no idea how many laps.
Yeah, what are they running back there? What is that?
What are you guys running? Yeah.
GT40 maybe? I don't know. It's going fast.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a C8 NSR C8.
Oh yeah, okay.
Dusty, what are you running? What are you running? Oh, he's working on his Thunder slot. Next month is at Cincy Slots is vintage. I guess it's this month, February. So he's trying to prep for that.
All right. And everybody's going to the NESCO race?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of feedback. It's half full at this point in February. That's pretty impressive. I think there's a lot of excitement around the event. I know there's a lot of people putting a lot of work in right now to make sure that the event goes well. So we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah, Greg's done a good job with it so far. It's good to see. Good to see that moving along.
Yeah. I know you guys talked a lot about that when you were over in Italy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool to see
That's
it
the
come to fruition.
limoncello story.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Steve and I have a conversation about every other day about our jobs for this, and that's pretty exciting stuff, what we're going to try to do.
Oh, cool.
With the live stream and trying to up our game, level up, as we say. And so, yeah, we're excited about it.
I've never seen so many people that are up chatting at the same time that I am. 11:30, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and the chats are still going strong.
Yeah, we have a text group that we try to communicate things in, and it goes on.
The Italian text group was always going. It would be like 1 a.m, and my phone was buzzing. I'm like, what are you people doing?
Yeah, we should all be asleep, but
right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, though. It's good to hear that. I'll come out and do some color commentary if you want, maybe driver interviews or something.
That'd be great. We're
Yeah.
willing to take all the help we can get.
Yeah,
All
we've
right.
got a wireless microphone for you. We'll just, you can go out in the parking lot and do interviews.
Perfect.
Right.
That is my speed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right into the men's room, ask a million questions.
The beauty of a wireless mic is you never really know whether we've got you hooked up or not.
That's right.
Right. Yeah. I'd just be
Yeah.
talking and
Yeah. Yep.
True enough.
Great stuff.
So,
But yeah, we're excited about being there and the coverage we're going to be able to provide. And I think that people will be surprised some of the things we have planned. So,
Good.
but like George
Some
from
neat
Area
stuff for
51 is coming to help. Pam from Super Tires might show up if she can work it out in her schedule.
Nice.
And so we'll get to meet some people that we've talked to a lot, but maybe never met in person. And so that's exciting too. But if they show up, we're going to put them to work.
Putting names with faces. It's a great way to, a great opportunity to do that, to meet people in the hobby. And so I hope we get a good turnout from the Two Lines community.
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of people that in the chat said that they've registered and are planning to come. So that's real exciting.
Yeah,
cool.
It's going to be a fun event.
Yeah, Marty, I think we have the venue on Tuesday now, right?
Yes. So the beauty
does
of
that mean you're going to do your Two Line stream on Tuesday night from that venue?
That's a good question. We could do some behind the scenes stuff because we'll be
might be
still
an opportunity to test some things too.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. We'll get set up early.
What was that? I didn't hear that.
That sounds like a great idea.
I like that. I'm gonna have to bookmark this stream.
I'll cut that clip out. Steve, that's a great idea. And that'll be part of your intro that I play when you come on.
Busting you. I'm just busting you.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I like to call my wife out on stuff like that when she gives me a compliment. I'm like, could you say that a little louder so I can record that on my phone?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, but to your point, Marty, it could be very interesting just to kind of show people what's going on behind the scenes, to put the event together or to give them a better appreciation for what's required to put something like this together.
Yeah, that's great.
Be a beehive of activity.
Well, there's a pretty big group getting there on Tuesday to start setting up the track because what they want is when people show up on Thursday for open practice and registration, it's all ready to go. There's no waiting. And we can only do that because the venue is willing to help us out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Originally, I think we were supposed to get in there on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And, that would have been a big challenge. I'm sure we'd be working into the wee hours, but when they made it available to Tuesday, it's still going to be a lot of work, but it's nice that extra day, a little wiggle room.
Yeah, it sure is, especially with 2 tracks to construct.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
and work out timing, and then working out all the things that we need to do for the live stream. It's going to take both of those days.
Well, I'm going to be there on Tuesday, so
awesome.
Maybe we can, if you need some help, producing your stream there on Tuesday night, I can be there holding up,
We'll do a pre-show
applause
for the AMSCO event, like they do for F1 and NASCAR events. So, yeah, that'll be fun. Well, guys, it's.
By the way, we are starting to get some spare parts in for the for the Scaleauto cars. We still don't have everything. There's still some items, like tires. We're still waiting for. Not just us, but other Scaleauto dealers too.
Yeah,
but we did start to get some cars and some parts in this week. So
I'll throw this up this is your website, and you've got a link, AMSCO Cars and Parts, so you can see what cars you have in
as
stock.
the parts come in, we've been updating it as the parts come in.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I hit cars. Sorry. So there's your parts.
Yeah.
So cockpits,
Parts,
chassis, guides, hardware, motor pods, suspension.
Yep.
So that's awesome.
So there's still some holes, but Scaleauto parts come from both China and Spain. Last week there was an order that came in from China. This week we're expecting an order from Spain. So
very good.
We'll continue to see more and more parts.
I know that people are looking for them, so they'll be excited to see as you update the website.
Yep, we'll keep it up to date just as soon as we get parts.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. We'll go ahead and wrap the stream up. I appreciate you, Matt, Steve. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing your news with us. It's exciting. I'm excited for you. And I think the hobby is going to pay dividends, having great products made here in the States. Yeah, exciting stuff.
Yeah. We just want to take the opportunity to thank everybody who's on the stream that's a customer or a potential customer. Thank you very much for your support. And, part of both Matt and CG Slot Cars, Slot Car Corner, BMS Slot Works, we're all about supporting the hobby and growing the hobby and investing in the hobby. And this is an example of a rather significant investment. Obviously we're a business. Quite frankly, I don't know if we're ever even going to break even on this, but we're having so much fun, we don't really care.
Yeah. Hopefully
Good,
you eventually
good note to
do.
send off on, right?
Yeah. And
Josh
but
did an update.
We do sincerely.
hard hat.
We do appreciate your support. Oh, there you go.
Now it's
We'll have to
now
get
it's
you
ready.
a BMS Slotworks sticker too.
Yeah, well,
Oh, yeah. There you go.
for sure.
We'll get you some playing for sure.
Well, guys,
So,
thanks.
thank you very
Appreciate
much,
you being
everyone.
here. And like I always say every week, go have fun racing.